deadly explosion and fire causes a partial collapse of 3 row homes in Nicetown. The incident shook residents out of their beds and left them in shock.
Oh, it was scary. It shook the whole house.
My door was all blown open and glass everywhere.
1 person has died and 2 others were injured. Investigators are still trying to figure out what happened. Good evening, I'm Aziza Schuler. We have been on top of this story since it broke early this morning. The explosion took place around 5 a.m. on the 1900 block of West Bristol Street. We have team coverage. Ray Strickland spoke with neighbors, and Eva Anderson has the latest from city officials. Eva.
Aziza, you can see the scene still behind me is entirely fenced off. Neighbors who live across the street are sweeping up the mess, the debris. There's glass on the sidewalk, and their windows were completely blown out, even though they live all the way across the street. You can see just how powerful that explosion was. In all, 7 row homes were affected. Some neighbors are still not allowed to return to their homes nearby, and the neighbors who are allowed, many of them don't want to come back because they still don't have electricity. Meanwhile, city officials and community members say their hearts are breaking for the family of the woman who was killed and for the 2 others who were hospitalized, including a longtime employee for the city council president. A gut-wrenching scene is left in the wake of the powerful home explosion on West Bristol Street. The call came in just before 5 a.m., and by the time fire crews arrived, 3 row homes had partially collapsed. Crews immediately began looking for people who were trapped.
We were in the process of doing our initial search and rescue where we were able to pull 2 people from this location.
2 women, ages 82 and 62, were taken to the hospital, one in critical condition. Search teams then brought in a dog who alerted crews to a body in the wreckage.
Based on what neighbors have told us, the woman lived alone. She was elderly.
Assistant Fire Chief Charles Walker said the rubble left a precarious scene for fire crews who brought in special equipment to monitor any additional collapses, and they're waiting until L&I deems it safe to continue their investigation. Mayor Sherelle Parker urged the city to come together.
I want to ask Philadelphia right now to please lift up in prayer those families who have been directly impacted and indirectly impacted.
Among those hospitalized, a woman who city officials say has worked behind the scenes at city council for decades, though they aren't sharing her name.
Everyone in council is devastated. Everyone knows this person. I'd like to call her the unofficial council staffer at large.
A nearby school is serving as a cooling and support center for those who were evacuated.
Everyone is on the scene to do anything that they possibly can to assist us in helping those who have been impacted.
Workers from the Salvation Army and the Red Cross brought food and water to the evacuees.
We're making sure that people are being taken care of while the city assesses what the next step is.
Sunday evening, neighbors were invited to that cooling center for a community meal. There, they also got flyers passed out to them that provide information on where they can find free food over the next few days. Reporting in Nicetown, Eva Anderson, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Thank you, Eva. Now let's go to Ray Strickland. He rushed to the scene this morning and spoke to people in the neighborhood who were stunned by what happened.
It just sounded like a bomb, a large bomb, a very large one.
Neighbors describing a scary scene in Nicetown, detailing the moment they were awakened by the sound of a loud boom that they say was so powerful it even shook their homes.
Basically, for a 3-block radius, this block and the next adjacent block, everybody's house shook and everybody's windows bust out.
It was so powerful that it knocked our windows down, knocked the curtains off the window.
Alan Carroll, who lives across the street, was one of the first people who came outside and saw the smoke coming from the homes that had already partially collapsed with people trapped inside.
And you start hearing the woman, screaming, saying, "Help me, help me, help me." So my son, at that point, him and another gentleman went over there, got to the house and pulled her out.
I think right now in the neighborhood, we're real sad right now.
Neighbors are now reflecting on a tragic morning that will stay with them for a long time.
It's very scary, so to hear something that loud and that close, God forbid if I was outside, I walk right past and stuff like that. And the crazy part was that I was on a park there last night. but I found another parking spot.
And crews have already begun boarding up some of the windows here on West Bristol Street that were broken as a result of this explosion. As for when people can begin returning to their homes, that remains unclear because this investigation is going to take some time. Ray Strickland, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Thank you, Ray. And we are working to learn more information about the Nicetown explosion. We will bring you the latest developments on air and online at cbsphiladelphia.com.